Buongiorno everybody, and welcome back to Kosherdotcom. Today we are going all the way to Italia. We are making old school, really yummy, basic, delicious Italian meatballs. What's different about our Italian meatballs? Well, they're super basic. They have very few simple, clean ingredients. And instead of the usual making the meatballs and throwing them into a pot of sauce, we're gonna bake them first so they get a really nice, crispy outside. And then when they go into the sauce, they're gonna soak up all of that deep red, dark flavor. And it's gonna be so yummy. First things first, we have our protein. For this mixture, we are using chopped beef and chopped veal. Why the combination? It just gives the most flavorful, tender meatballs possible. If you want, you could go all beef, you could go all veal, you could sub in a little turkey, but for the most authentic Italiano flavor, you wanna mix the two. And then it's just a few simple ingredients. We have some lightly beaten egg. I like to get that beaten before I mix it in, even though it is really super easy to just crack it right in and then mix it with your hands as you're mixing, but it will increase the texture of your meatballs if you beat it first to get the whites and the yellows fully incorporated into each other. We have lots of chopped garlic. Get all of that in there. We need all that garlic flavor. Next up, we have some unseasoned panko breadcrumbs. If we were going super traditional, we would be using white bread soaked in milk to add moisture, but that's just a lot of work, and panko has a lot of clean flavor. You know what, let me show you what I'm using. I'm using these. They're unseasoned panko. We don't want any seasoning in them because we want to control what goes into our meatballs. They're delicious. It's just gonna help tighten and hold everything together when we form our meatballs. Chopped parsley, get all that in there. Salt, because salt. And pepper. And now all we have to do is get this mixed up. This was so few ingredients, it took 2 seconds to make. It's really just a matter of going to the store and picking up your meat or defrosting it. You really have everything in your house ready. All right, now we're gonna get this meat mixed up. Here's the thing, you don't wanna overwork the meat or it will toughen. So you wanna just mix until everything is incorporated, making sure that the veal and the beef are mixed into each other, but you don't wanna overdo it. We don't wanna play with our food here, even though it's tempting because it has a super fun texture. Once your meat mixture comes together, you are going to take a sheet pan. No parchment, please. You will get such a better crust on these without the parchment. A quick sprinkling of baking spray and form our meatballs. There's only a few things you really need to know when forming your meatballs. There's only one thing really. You don't want to overwork them. It's okay if they have rough edges. They don't need to be perfectly circular, but you really don't want to squeeze them and pack them too tight or that will make a denser meatball. You want a light, airy meatball. You don't want to feel like you're eating a golf ball. Just look like a golf ball, not taste like one. Keep in mind that they're gonna shrink as they cook a little bit, so you can make them a little bit bigger than you want them. All right, we're gonna get this pan into the oven and then we're just gonna continue rolling. While the meatballs are in the oven, we're gonna start on our sauce. It's very simple, very quick, very easy. We're going to preheat our pot on medium-high heat, add a little bit of olive oil, get our onions in there, and start getting just a little bit of sweetness out of those onions. We don't need to brown them. We're just looking for a nice translucent color. Gonna add a pinch of salt to help our onions along. Once your onions lose a little bit of that white opaqueness, we're gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. And we're just gonna cook this until the garlic becomes fragrant and you start to smell it, just for a minute or so. And now it's time to add in the component that really makes this sauce super deep, rich, and flavorful, our red wine. I love that sound and the smell of the red wine hitting the bottom of the pot, mixing together with the garlic and onion. It smells like Italy. It's so good and so rich and so delicious. We just want to cook the wine down for about a minute or so until it loses a lot of its alcohol-y flavor. And then we can continue. We're gonna go ahead and continue building our sauce. We have 2 bay leaves here. Add those right in. 2 cans of tomato sauce. I prefer this in a can with no flavorings, no oregano, no carrot pieces, onion chunks, anything. We can flavor our own food here. Add it right in. Get the other can in here. And now we're just gonna fill up one of these cans with water and add that to the pot. Add in your water. Season our sauce with salt and pepper. And just give it a stir. Once this comes to a boil, you can reduce the heat and let it simmer until all your meatballs are ready, and then we'll continue. All right, we got our meatballs out of the oven. Do you see how beautiful and crispy and delicious that is? That is what we wanted. All the natural sugars in the meat caramelized and created such a good texture, but the inside is still soft and juicy and delicious. All right, we're gonna pour these meatballs right in along with any of the meat juices that accumulated in the pan. That's just gonna help the sauce feel even meatier and more delicious. See those goodness? Get those, scrape those off the pan, get those into your sauce. That is flavor. Yes. Once the meatballs and the tomato sauce come up to a boil, reduce the heat and let these simmer. These can go for as little as half an hour or even up to 2 hours. Actually, even better, pop them in the fridge and serve them the next day for dinner. They only get better after they're refrigerated. I am sending you the smell through the screen. It is intoxicating. The meat, the wine, the tomato, the bay leaf, you get it all, and it is, you could eat the air. It is that good. You could just take a bite right out of the air. It smells so good. All right, we're gonna get this plated up. Personally, we love angel hair in my house. It's our spaghetti of choice, but use whatever you want. Use penne, use bow ties, use couscous, use rice. Put it on sandwiches. Yum. Let's get this plated up. Oh my gosh. I like to serve this big old family style because they're meatballs. Yes. Make sure to get all that extra sauce right over the top so the spaghetti can soak it all up. And that's it. You can totally go ahead and garnish this with some freshly chopped parsley. I'm just gonna dig right in because it's dinner. Get some meatballs in here. Make sure to top it with plenty of meatballs. Yum, yum, yum. And time to dig in. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. You gotta get a good forkful. Like I said, family style. Anything goes. How is it, right? Mm-hmm. You get that good crunch on the outside? Bye, Eric. Thanks for joining us. Look at that bite. Got a little bit of meatball, got spaghetti. Here we go. It's so good. The texture of the meat, the flavors of the sauce, the spaghetti to soak it all up. These are the best meatballs ever. I really hope you guys try these out. For this recipe and more delicious recipes, head on over to Kosherdotcom. We'll see you next time. Bye guys.